Greetings, users and programs. This is Itari Living Sacrifice continuing Doki Doki Literature Club. Yesterday, Yuri came over to the house I was going to help prepare her for the festival, and we had a little, hand touching and exchange glances and, the awkward teenage angst feelings like you kind of romance things happening. And Sayori kind of walked in on the middle of us about to kiss basically, and she kind of flipped a little bit and was like, I loved you, you don't love me as much as I love you, and all that kind of stuff. And we were trying to reassure her we'd always be friends, and just the like, what do you do in that situation? So here we go, let's see what happens. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little bit too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text, reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over, so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. Lil Tink, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Ah, ah, ah! You should take a little responsibility for her, Lil Tink. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Geez, you don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry, I probably know a lot more than you think. Monika is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. There's no music in this episode. It's getting really weird. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. I'm gonna check. No, there's music. Music's on. All that kind of stuff. Alright. I'm feeling a little chill down my spine. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Percent. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. What's this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Lil Tink? What's wrong? Nothing. The poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... Ah, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monika calls out to me. Calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Holy bejesus! Holy crap! What? Okay. Oh, this is supposed to happen. The exceptions. What the heck? What is going on? Okay, ... What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. I got chills down my spine after this. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her that I know what's best, and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession. That has to have been what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I only had one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. That's the end? That's the end? That's how it ends? What the heck? What the heck, dude? Oh, man. So, is there like multiple endings or something? What is this? So, the error is supposed to happen, right? What the heck? I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arm in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is bleh, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works speak out because you've known each other for so long. So we've seen all this before. Get tired of waiting up. She's gonna chase after me like this. I almost feel better off running away. What the heck? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. Ah, now, so things are changing now. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Lil Tank clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Lil Tank? Oh wow. Monika? Monika. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monika say she? Hey, Lil Tink. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but... In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. So basically, it looks like we're seeing how life would be without her. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monika? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome! You're really sweet, Lil Tink, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monika and her irresistible smile. I timidly followed Monika across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monika, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Alright, it's getting a little freaky here now. What the heck's going on? A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Lil Tink. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess. You're Monika's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki, The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Lil Tink in the classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monika! Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Lil Tink? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monika. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Lil Tink, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head certainly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Alright, so we've heard, this is all stuff we've basically heard. We don't need to get to know the girls again. So, let's just kind of skip through it. Is that so? She likes horror books. So they don't have enough members to officially start the club without Sayori, with Sayori not in the universe. So I've been trying really hard to find new members because they need 4 members to officially start a club. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the Literature Club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Lil Tink? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Lil Tink, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment, which is writing poems. Alright. Alright, you have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Yes. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. What the heck? Alright, so I can't even go after Monika. So what happens if I pick Sayori's stuff? Huh. Alright, Papa. Daddy issues. That's right, daddy issue girl. Melancholy. Whoa! What was with that? Hi again, little Tink. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Haha, ha 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 ha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. So we should have seen a lot of this already. Back at the literature club, everyone still hanging out. Whoa! Ah, we didn't see that before. Thanks for keeping your promise, little Tank. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. What? Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monika. I don't know if you plan to come just to hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Can't read in front of her. Natsuki finds herself stuck between Monika and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki pops back into her seat. I'm sorry, little Tink. The music is speeding up. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. I'm going to try to read as fast as the music is playing. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is How Is This Girl Accidentally Being So Cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monika to kick off some scheduled events for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her tense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Whoa, what was with her eye? How do I go back? Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something very obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. Definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, You might have a hard time putting it down, just like me. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ah, are you not a fan of that sort of thing, little Tink? No, it's not that, because she likes horror books. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, my whole body gets incredibly something. I feel kind of forget to pay attention to other people. Oh, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... Aha, what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just not something I'm very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence. Not particularly bad thing. A little distracting. Yuri in the corner of my eye. Realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. She's reading from my book. Sorry. I was just bathing in the what? What? I was just bathing in the blood of what? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, there. This should work, right? I slide my desk up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It makes it difficult to turn the page here. We've done all this before with Yuri. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the book between her thumb and forefinger. Do the same. That way I turn the page, flips to the side, but in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me, as if I can feel the warmth of her face in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry, I think I got it distracted for a second. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay, you're not used to reading, right? I don't mean by impatient, as long as I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks, we continue reading. She no longer turns the page, we just do it in silence. Intimate exchange. This might be a silly thought, but the main character reminds me of you. Definitely not, really. It's kind of second-guessing the way she says things. It's kind of like we're skipping to day 3. This is like the last interaction that I had with her before Sayori killed herself. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. Yeah, she's looking a little scary, actually. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. Yeah, her facial expression's a little, woo! I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Little Tink? Did something happen just now? Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So, you didn't know anything. You don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Ah! Don't worry. I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we could start it without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Alright, let's share with Monika first. I should start with Monika. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, little Tink. Having a good time so far? I keep getting accents mixed up. Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, little Tink. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, little Tink. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. Sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monika. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain can get too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. So another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Alright, let's go with Yuri. Little crazy Yuri. Dot. As Yuri reads the poem and notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a deep breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, then they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but putting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. Let's see, we've done all this before. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily if that's a rare opportunity for her, which is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry to have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all, but it took you so long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. Think your handwriting's pretty. That's relief. Are you into Ghost, Yuri? Huh? Actually, the story is about ghosts at all, Lil Tink. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell the simple story or paint a picture. In this case, symbolically compared to ghosts, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Yeah, it's nothing really. Yours is impressive too, so nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you, of course. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. Keep doing it, me too. Natsuki. Ugh. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me, it's not like I said it was bad, it just don't evoke any emotion, so basically not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. You showed me yours, so I'll show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. Alright, express yourselves. Exactly. Seeing everyone around you can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. But it falls flat. Across the room, Monika is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monika liked it, and Lil Tank did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Lil Tink liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Lil Tink appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Lil Tink started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! Taking out your own securities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Who is talking? You wanna be edgy bitch? Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Well, be careful, you might cut yourself on the edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Lil Tink hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Ah! Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me, as if she's noticed I was standing here. Lil Tink, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did I get dragged into this? I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my gosh, whose side do I take? I'm gonna take Yuri's. 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 Natsuki, we have to take Natsuki. What's going on? What the heck is this? Hey, Lil Tink, why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Lil Tink, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. Oh, you can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Lil Tink. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing you trouble, but I really appreciate. What the heck? What the heck? This game is getting freaky. It's getting freaky, so I think that's a fantastic place to pause it. As always, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. And remember to keep moving forward!